Stories. Zone DLC. Aha! Oh, dude, they're listed in order here. So they're not listed in order in the store, but they're listed in order here in the Zone DLC list. Dude, that's a fucking hot tip. I gotta put that in my, That's brilliant. There we go. Talk to the Rothgar ambassador. Brilliant. So you could just take that straight. That's brilliant. Very cool. Because I know Ali/Transcend had given me a list in Discord, which is extremely helpful. But like I had already mentioned once before that if you go to like the store, it does have them listed in order of the year that they were released, but it doesn't show them the order within the year. But that list actually shows you the order of the DLC from start to finish, which is great for chronological.
If you have a letter from the Forge Mother, then you've come to the right place. And we don't even care that you're one of those Khajiit-loving, Bosmer-liking, preening like a high elf, card-carrying members of the Aldneri Dominion. No offense.
None taken.
And here I am, all the way from the icy nethers of Rothgar.
Icy? We're going to a snow place?
officially welcome you and transport you to Orsinium. Of course, I'm also supposed to make sure you're willing to do a little hard work. There's no room for shirkers on my wagon.
Happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrate. Indeed, Napier, indeed. What do you need me to do?
I sent a caravan full of food and supplies to Orsinium. Once there, everything will be distributed to the outlying clans to help them make it through the winter. The caravan's slow. I want you to catch up with it and see it safely to the city.
How do I find this caravan?
The caravan should have just entered Rothgar territory. I can take you as far as the entry gates, but you'll have to make it from there on your own. This is important. If those supplies don't reach the city, the smaller clans don't stand a chance.
Alright, let's go.
I can take you as far as the border gate. Then I have to come back in case anyone else shows up with an invitation.
Let's roll, girlfriend. By the way, can I get a little nibble? Like, can you give me a little nibble before you go? Just saying, those teeth look a little fun. All right, dude. Snowy environment. Yes, I'm assuming UK word for chips as well. When she said that, I was assuming that, Dribrum. I was assuming she meant French fries. I don't think. I don't think KFC sells potato chips. Crisps and chips. It's so funny, man. I love cultural differences. Well, we are about to embark on a new adventure, kids. Thanks for the share, Eric. Appreciate it. Gracias, Sanchez. Senor Sanchez, gracias por compartir and stream and TikTok. Thank you very much for that share. I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee so that we can keep the energy levels going. Oh, Napier, I don't get the notification. Yeah, I just saw it. So here's the thing. I see chat on... Let me get my coffee and I'll be back. I don't see the rant redemption because I'm watching Streamlabs chat and it doesn't show me a notification. I did, however, happen to just click over manually to Twitch, and saw that you had redeemed a Renfail rant for 5,000 points. I will give you the rant, but let me get my next cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think I was reading it's like 25, 30 hours. Um, Strict Dog says, "Yikes, brother! Skyrim is old as fuck." Well, the good thing is I'm not playing Skyrim, you dumbass. All you got to do is check out the actual title of the stream and the game that's tagged. That's on you if you think this is Skyrim. God, you remember what you were saying earlier, Allie, about ignorant people and uneducated dipshits everywhere these days? They're everywhere. Yeah, Napier, it's an issue with when you multi-stream, you have to use third-party tools to try to keep up with the chat in all the different locations. And I have 4 different, we're live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. And so like half the time my TikTok chat doesn't even come through. Like today, it's not coming through my Streamlabs, so I have to go over and like manually check the TikTok every 10 minutes or so, and I don't keep up with it like I do, because right now the only chat that's coming through is Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. But then things like if you redeem a rant, which you just did over on Twitch, I have no idea because that doesn't show up on Streamlabs. And all the tools that you use, none of the tools carry through with all the events that happen on all the various platforms. Anyway, Napier just redeemed a Renfail rant for 5,000 channel points over on Twitch. The title of which, Dune Isn't Dead. That's an easy one to talk about because the big thing that everyone would like to point out is that the player numbers for Dune have fallen. And they look at those numbers and they say, no one's playing Dune. It's a dead game. It failed. And we've talked about this many times in the past. I can pick any game out there. And once it gets past the 3-month mark, they all drop to about 5% of their total player base. So if you have like 1 million players, By the end of the third month, you'll be down to 5% of that number. You'll be down to 50,000 people playing the game out of 1 million players. And that's just because we've seen and done everything there's to do. I have like 600 hours in Dune Awakening. Fucking love that game. I'm done with the content. I play lots of games. I also watch a lot of TV. And a lot of these players who like to take Steam numbers and they like to claim that a game is dead because of the amount of people playing them don't understand how modern audiences play games. Because I don't care if you're talking a live service game or a single player title. Once I'm done with the content, I'm off to the next thing. I'm watching the new show. Like Stranger Things just started. I got to watch that with Chris, the final season of Stranger Things, which means I'm going to be watching that show, not playing a game. Dune Awakening was June. Do you know how many games I've played since June? September alone, I played 9 new games in September. I played 7 new games in October. This month, like I would have to sit down and look, but I know we've played, in terms of new games, we've done the Demio D&D game. I've done Arc Raiders. I've done Anno 117 on a key from Ubisoft. I think those might be the only new titles I played this month. And then as far as old titles this month, I'm playing ESO, Fallout 76, and something else. Oh, Cyberpunk 2077. So I'm playing 6 games in the month of November. Oh, and also I tried out a demo of Ash and Steel, and I tried out the Skull and Bones thing. So I played 8 different games in the month of November, right? The idea that people play one game and only play one game is stupid. I mean, that's a retarded take. Franz, Dune Awakening is a single player game that happens to have an MMO backdrop. You don't have to play it with other people. The optional, it's all that stuff is optional. So it's buy to play, free to play, no monthly subscription. So once you own it, you can play it however you want. So I think in my total 600 hours in Dune Awakening, I think I maybe did 15-20 hours of group-based content with people. The rest of it was 100% solo. Like, there are no requirements to do anything with a group. It's 100% soloable. It has an amazing single-player storyline. It has a phenomenal building system, an absolutely phenomenal survival crafting gameplay loop from start to finish. Like, when you get your first still suit and you can start surviving a little bit more in the desert, and then you get your next still suit, and then you get your next level of weapons, and you go from tier 1 to tier 6 through the progression of the game. Dune Awakening is a phenomenal experience. I think the base storyline, going from start to finish as a new player, I think there's around 250 to 300 hours of gameplay, assuming you build your own base along the way. Like, if you get into the base building, it's easily 250 to 300 hours of content for a single player. And then if you do all the optional stuff, like I'm going to build multiple bases, I'm going to max out all of my different things, I'm going to go grind the solo dungeons and get max T6 gear. I'm going to build all the vehicles. So I'm not just going to build one ornithopter. I'm going to build 3 ornithopters. I'm going to build all the land vehicles. I had multiple bases, multiple ornithopters, multiple mining vessels. Like, I went all out in Dune Awakening for the 2 months or so that I played it. The amount of people playing a game in no way indicates the success of a game, is what it comes down to. So, is Dune Awakening dead? No. Does it have fewer players now than when it launched? Duh. That's every game that ever launches. Witcher 3... Well, you could even use, like, we've been playing Cyberpunk. It's a great example. Or Witcher 3. Witcher 3 had a certain amount of people who played it at launch. They played the game, they moved on to other things. Then the show comes out on Netflix. Boom, a whole bunch of people come back to play Witcher 3 again, and suddenly the game spikes and has more players playing it than it did at launch. Does that mean it's more popular than it was at launch? No, it just means that there's publicity around the show and a bunch of people came to play it again. Are the numbers for The Witcher 3 still high? No. If we look at the amount of people playing The Witcher 3 today compared to the people who played it at launch or when The Witcher show came out on Netflix, it's a fraction of the people who were playing it when it was at its peak. And the reason is because we all fucking played it and moved on. I've done 2 full playthroughs of The Witcher 3. Do I need to do another playthrough? No. Might I again one day? You never know. I'm doing my 3rd playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 right now for shits and giggles in between other projects for the holidays. But The Witcher 3, it just crossed 35 million units sold this month. That's amazing. Does that mean there are 35 million people playing The Witcher 3? Or, excuse me, Cyberpunk 2077? Fuck no. It means that 35 million people in total have bought the game, but it doesn't mean that 35 million people are playing it. If you go look at the amount of people playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now compared to launch, it's a fraction. So, yeah, Dune is not dead. It's just people have moved on to play other things. And it never had, like, a lot of people will try to use like Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft as like, well, these games are still doing exceptionally well. Not really. World of Warcraft has sold in the ballpark of 200 billion units over the course of its lifespan. You know how many people play that game on a regular basis? 6 to 7 million compared to 200 million. That's a fraction of its total player base. Final Fantasy 17, we've had 20 million people have picked up. It's free to buy to play or whatever. Like 20 million people are not actively playing Final Fantasy 14. 2 to 3 million people might be playing that on a regular basis. When a game has hundreds of millions of sales or tens of millions of sales, it will have a higher minimum than a game like Dune Awakening, which I think peaked around 200,000 concurrent. I think it sold over, I'm pretty sure that it sold over 1 million units within its first month. I can't remember. I'd have to go look. But its concurrent was like 190,000. Total sales was over 1 million, I think, out of the gate. Yeah, it's up to like 2 million now or something. So Dune Awakening has sold several million copies. But most of those people are like me. They've played it and they've moved on to play other games. Am I going to go back and play Dune Awakening again? Fuck yeah. When the next story DLC drops, I will come back and play the story DLC. And I'll play that for 8 to 10 hours, and then I'll move on and play other things, because that's what you do with a DLC. Like, I'm not married to one game, and I'm only going to play that one game for the rest of all eternity. Correct, Blade 130. I would argue even over a decade ago. Like, it doesn't matter if you disagree, Leo. You're factually incorrect. I have facts on my side. So, game developer, game publisher. I worked at Blizzard. I didn't, but that's the point. You could disagree all you want. Your opinion does not change the facts. The fact is, if you go like 20 years ago, like Blade 130 just said, we didn't have Netflix, Hulu, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Steam, Epic, GOG.com. We didn't have we had like 5 games. We had Asheron's Call, we had EverQuest, we had Star Wars Galaxies, we had, World of Warcraft, EverQuest 2, we had like, Dark Age of Camelot. There were like 5 to 6 games that we played in the late 90s and early 2000s because there weren't a lot of online games. Because the internet wasn't really a big thing yet. And then as technology has increased, and game development became more accessible and the tools became more accessible. Unity engine didn't exist until about a decade ago. Um, Unreal as an engine did not become available to the mass consumer until about 6 to 8 years ago. Before that, you had to be willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a license to use the Unreal game engine to build a game, which meant that game development was very much something that only teams of people who had investment were willing to do. And nowadays, the tools have allowed independent developers, little one-man teams, to create things like Stardew Valley. And we're in a completely different atmosphere these days. So for a game to hold a player base, we're not in that time period anymore because there's so much other shit going on. When I used to play EverQuest 1, that was the game I played. I would work, I would come home from work, I would get off work, I'd get home at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, I would take my shower, I would log into EverQuest, and I would play EverQuest for 2 to 3 hours with my friends, and then I would go to bed, I would go to work, do it again the next day, and then Saturday and Sunday, when I had extra time, I would play longer sessions of EverQuest. I didn't play 10 other games every single month. I played EverQuest. That was what I played because that was the game that I was playing with my friends. There was no TikTok, there was no Netflix, there was no Hulu, there was none of that. There wasn't Steam as a platform giving me free games every single month. There wasn't the Epic Store giving me free games every month. It wasn't the GOG Store giving me games every month. Um, anyway, rant redeemed. Napier. I gotta clip that. Yeah, the Madden days back in the day, dude. Halo 2, man. I can remember losing, dude, hundreds of hours of my life to Halo 2 back in the day, because that's what we did was Halo 2. It was like, um, it's just those days don't exist anymore. Like, we all play lots and lots of games these days. We're at 122. Dude, I gotta remember to use. I gotta get a Steam chart clip too, because we gotta use for the thumbnail. We gotta do it like Asmongold, right? We're gonna have behind me. There's gonna be for the thumbnail for this clip. It's gonna be a screenshot of the Dune Awakening numbers on Steam, and I'm gonna be like, "Don't worry, I'll make it. I'll make it good." And for those of you who are actively still playing Dune Awakening and you want to grow up, Napier sounds very enthusiastic and wants to play with other people. So there you go. If you're wanting to pick up Dune Awakening and play for the first time, you don't have to play with other people, but you can if you want to. Thanks for the sub over on Twitch, Shadow Wizard. Yep, it's like the Fallout TV show that came out, made you go back and play all the Fallout games for the first time. Oh yeah, we just discussed that recently. Like, one of the reasons I'm playing Fallout 76 right now is because there's good traffic around it. I haven't played it before all the way through, and there are lots of people coming into Fallout for the first time because the show is, you know, an international hit, which is why they just dropped the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, and they're pushing Fallout 76, and they're pushing Fallout Shelter so much. They have a new DLC coming to Fallout 76 in like a week or 2 weeks, and then the show comes out on the 17th. Yep. If you're tuning in for the first time, everybody, don't forget we're live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok playing Elder Scrolls Online. We start at about 4 a.m. every single morning. I multi-stream in 4 different places. We play ESO on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, Fallout 76 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I generally do 2 streams a day. We do an early morning session, and then we do an afternoon stream as well. Afternoon streams are, I play keys games that I get keys for, sponsored streams. Sunday is dealer's choice. Afternoons right now we've been playing a little bit of Arc Raiders, Anno 117 recently. Right now I'm playing that D&D game from Deimos. Bloodmarked, I think is what it's called. The schedule right now, generally speaking, is we start at about 4 a.m. I play for about 3 hours. I take a break. We come back, play another 3 hours. Take another break, and come back in the afternoon for another 2 to 3 hours. So there's technically about 3 streams a day right now, but... Are you guys about to do some Arc Raiders, Jabram and Allie? I see you conspiring. Alright, this is the caravan.
Did Orsinium send you? Are you part of the reinforcements?
I love
The
your
winter
armor.
storm came out of nowhere. It happened so fast. They took our
And
cargo
I don't
into
like
the hills
blonde
and the
girls,
orc
but oh my
peasants
god,
chased
I
them.
am a sucker for
That's when Chief
pigtails.
Bazrog and his warriors arrived.
I'm sorry, pigtails are going to distract me every day of the week.
Our caravan was heading for Orsinium, the new orc city, when the Winterborn landed on the wagons like flesh flies on Skiva pie. The orc peasants refused to let their supplies be taken, so they chased the marauders into the hills. In case you haven't noticed, these cracked acorns aren't worth their weight in bloodberry pudding. Besides, before we could rally our forces, Chief Bazrog and his orc warriors arrived. He told us to wait here and then went after the marauders.
Oh, I will pass on Arc Raiders this morning, Allie. I did play some last night for a couple hours. That was the final stream of the day yesterday. I got my I got my bird upgraded though to the next tier, so I finally found apricots.
I knew I liked you the moment
And I
I
upgraded
saw
my
you.
explosive
Chief
bench to
Bazrog
rank
is
2,
big
so I got
and
2 major
mean and
upgrades
looks like
yesterday.
he can fight, but there were an awful lot of marauders. Iceheart's Winterborn won't stop until Bazrog and all the orc peasants are dead. You better hurry.
Are you coming with?
I will, eventually. Maybe. I mean, look around. These people are injured. What happens if the Winterborn come back? Someone has to protect them, keep them from being picked off one by one. Anyway, I'll keep them safe while you help Chief Bazrog.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, I just want to grab those pigtails and hang on for the ride. Sorry, not sorry. But this is supposed to be a family-friendly ESO stream. Oh no, somebody's interrupting my harvesting. How dare you?
We did what we had to.
That's right, Zarathvar, we did what we had to, sir. Rescue the orc peasants.
Find your center. We found them. Leave no orc alive.
Somebody help us, please.
Dude, I like icy
Good
zones.
find, Tamid.
Dude, there's harvesting stuff all over the place.
Let this be a lesson.
There's more of them. Watch out!
Can I finish my harvesting now, please? Bitches?
Thanks for the help. We'll head back to the caravan now. It's stupid to come out here on our own anyway.
Also, I had a random,
There are still some
Or
of us
something
hiding
to
in the
attack.
cave near the waterfall.
Or something
You
to
have to help
protect.
them too.
okay. I had a random desire to go back and play, Dungeon Siege 2 the other day. Which, by the way, is a phenomenal game if you've never played it. The problem is it's extremely dated at this point. But it took all the things from the first game and like they made a much bigger world, and there's some really cool environments in that game that I remember. Just the feeling of exploring.
Never had a chance. I saw what you did out there. Thanks for helping the clan orcs. The ones in here. I
And if
think
you've
it's
never
too late to
seen
help them.
the Dungeon Siege movie and you want to watch something
You
truly
froze them
bad,
solid. The bastards got magic, the likes of which I've never seen.
it's not a very good movie. It is a fun movie. Just go watch it if you've never seen it. There are a lot of people who signed up to that movie for a paycheck. Dude, Dungeon Siege I played that game probably 15, 20 times all the way through when it came out.
Yes.
Perfect example
I'm
of the
boss of
times that we lived
We
in
were
back
out on
then.
patrol when we saw
There
the
weren't that
Winterborn
other many
attack the
games coming
caravan.
out, so we could
By the
play
time
one
we
game
reached the
over and over
wagons,
and over.
The marauders had already stolen the supplies, and a group of orc peasants were trying to chase them down. Stupid peasants.
Matter of fact, I remember there used to be a store in the U.S. called Hastings. It's not around anymore, but Hastings was a place you could go. They sold books, video games, comics, magazines. You could also rent games from there. And I remember being in line for something at Hastings and seeing a trailer for Dungeon Siege playing on like one of the televisions above the cashier stand, and I was like, "What game is that?" And I turned around and left the line and went and found the game that they were showing on the TV screen because it looked so much fun. And I was just like, I lost myself. Like 8-person party member, pack mules that could attack, full AI, so your party members would do their own thing, and you could literally just like just send them in that direction and watch them disperse and take care of bad guys. It was such a good game.
You're Fawn Iceheart. He's the most powerful of the Winterborn warlords that have been raiding Hrothgar the past
Follow-up
few
is pretty good
years.
too. Dungeon Siege 2 is
Since
pretty
he
good.
arrived from the
Not so
Reach,
good after
the
that.
attacks have gotten worse. Iceheart is strong.
And the movie is so
ambitious,
bad
and
that it's good.
extremely dangerous.
It's an U-Bowl movie, and if you've ever watched U-Bowl movies,
I like your courage.
most of them are pretty
I don't
fucking
think you get
atrocious.
to test it today. If Iceheart was still around,
But the
he'd be
cast,
frozen
man.
solid by now.
Matthew Illard,
My guess? He got what he wanted and hightailed it out of here. A
Jason
shame, really.
Statham.
The outlying clans need those supplies.
Dude, Hastings was pretty badass back in the day, JNR, for sure.
Enough food and supplies to get the outlying clans
Walden
through the winter.
Books,
Without
Hastings.
those supplies, the clans are going to starve. Chief Bosrog went
They
to
don't
track
exist
down the
anymore.
marauders and find the supplies.
Blockbuster.
If he fails, I don't know what we're going to do. Search the area and see if you can find anything that even hints as to where the marauders disappeared to. If you happen to pick up their trail, find Chief Bosrog. He'll know what to do.
Okay.
Leave no stone unturned. Anything you uncover could prove useful.
Every second until you tell me what I want to know.
Discover the location. Harpies. I used to spend a lot of time too back in the day Barnes and Noble um, many years ago, because you could go and get a coffee and then just sit and read books. Like you didn't have to go anywhere, right? You could literally go sit and read a book at I don't know if you still can, but because I haven't been to a Barnes and Noble in a long time.
What are they thinking?
But that used to be a thing, like in the late 90s. I can remember being 17, 18 years old and just spending hours at the bookstore because I could go get a coffee and like sit down and read like 3 or 4 chapters of a book for free, you know, kind of, and then, you know, find lots of new things to then buy and take home. I think more libraries ought to offer coffee shops. I think if libraries had coffee shops, that would be really cool. Like, make it an inviting place for people to come and read. And I think you would see the ignorance of today's society dropping significantly if we get more people reading books. Just got to get them out of their mom's basement first, and that's the tricky part. How far into this am I? Oh, I'm on the first DLC, Richard Rogers, so I'm making significant progress. We finished up the MSQ, we finished up the Ultimary Dominion quests, and now we are off in the Snowy Wastelands helping the orcs. We're in a place called Rothgar. Is that a cat up there? What is that up there? It's a penguin. Alright, it looks like there is a road down here I need to follow.
You are a knave and a jeek.
A knave and a jeek. I don't ever heard the word jeek before. JNR says I was in a small Texas town. We didn't get a Barnes & Noble till way later, unfortunately, but I agree. Coffee and the ability to sit there and read in a store was hugely appealing. Oh, yeah. Just, I think that is one of those things that is missing. I don't think that'll be a thing we ever get back to anytime, because the culture that we live in now is very much on their phones all the time.
Peasants. Are they on their way to Orsinium?
The soldiers escorted them and the wounded outsiders. They should be safe enough.
Safe enough isn't good enough. Go after them. I'll continue to look for the Winterborn.
But I have to admit, like, if we lived in a city that had a bookstore, that would be my date night with Chris, would be to go to the bookstore and let's get a couple of coffees. You're gonna read your book for the next 2-3 hours. I'm gonna read my book for the next 2-3 hours. We're just gonna sit here and listen to cool music and enjoy the ambiance of the bookstore.
You're the outsider who leaped into the bear's den to fight the Winterborn? Shan, the wood elf, mentioned you. Surprised you didn't end up all bruised and bloody like the rest of these fools. This is our home, not an amusement for your pleasure.
I saved your people.
And I appreciate that. Doesn't change the fact that I despise that you're here, though, sticking your nose in our business.
Actually, I was invited.
Ah, yes. The king's invitation. And what royal bag of snakes that is. Look, you have my thanks for saving those people. As much as I hate it, I owe you a favor. But right now, I need to determine where they took the...
If you love bookstores, JNR, Chris and I were in Paris a few years back, and it's a bookstore called the Royal Shakespeare Company in downtown Paris. Probably one of the coolest bookstores I've ever been to. I don't know if they're still open because I don't know how they fared during the pandemic. Let me go look. Excuse me, it's called Shakespeare and Company Bookstore. Not the Royal Shakespeare Company, that's the theater production. I misspoke. Shakespeare and Company was opened in 1951 by George Whitman on the left bank of Paris. Um, Dude, it's a trip. I had never heard of the place, and then we were there um, on we were doing I went there on a trip to do photography and videography for a client that I was working with at the time. They were running a workshop, writers workshop and photographers workshop in Paris with a bunch of National Geographic photographers and writers. And one of the main days was spent at the Shakespeare and Company bookstore. Um, and then we did an interview upstairs with somebody. It was right after the Notre Dame had burned, and it was going through like the beginning stages of the renovations. And we were interviewing somebody from CNN who was there. I don't remember. It was. I'd have to go back and look at all the. But like Chris, like one of her main bags that she uses, like her over-the-shoulder bags that Chris uses for her like day-to-day walking around and doing errands and stuff, is she's got a book bag from Shakespeare and Company. It is by far one of the coolest bookstores I've ever been to. There's like beds in between, like, and it's they say that an estimated 30,000 people have slept on the beds since it opened in 1951, because people can just come in and just like hang out, and there have been tons of writers who have gone through and like kind of like lived on site for a period of time. Let me see if I can find. Do they have a website? They do, but I don't know if it shows like pictures. Yeah, they do have the tote bags. Yeah, there's the tote bags. Anyway, cafe. Yeah, see, they have a cafe on site, which is really cool. I'm trying to find the. See, they don't really have any cool pictures on their website. I wonder if they have anything on their social media. Let's go to their Instagram page. Oh, and they have animals. They have like animals on site. I mean, they do have an Instagram page, but it's not. I don't think it's going to do it justice to show. I'm trying to find some cool pictures, because then I can link you some really cool stuff, because they do have. It was a pretty awesome bookstore. If you're into bookstores, like I used to be big time into bookstores, but that was in my, especially that was my thing for a long time, was as a fantasy and science fiction writer. Ah, see here, their YouTube channel actually shows off. These are old videos, but these are like, it shows off some of the bookstore. Like the place is just packed. Here, I'm gonna put this in chat for everybody. It is a really cool place. It's multi tiers. It's on the left bank, so it's got a cafe attached. It is a badass bookstore, and it's been going on for 70 some years now. But it's not it's not a commercial bookstore. It's something different for those who enjoy that kind of stuff.
Let me see that. We've been betrayed, and for gold, no less. By Malakath, I'll make sure someone pays for this. Look, I need to protect the next caravan to come through the Merchant's Gate. If you truly want to help Hrothgar, then you will help me. This note indicates that the traitor has interests in the city. I want you to track down this traitor and find our stolen shipments. The fastest way to get on my good side, and on Kurog's, is to expose the traitor and recover our supplies.
I'll see what I can learn.
I suggest you start your search in the inn. Gold and dark dealings often go hand in hand with drinking and celebrating. Don't disappoint me. I hate putting my trust in outsiders. Do everyone a favor and prove me wrong.
On it, sir. Dude, this place is frickin' awesome. That is a city? Holy crap.
A sturdy find indeed.
Ursinium. Look at this place. I gotta figure out how to get in there. We gotta go all the way up and around, it looks like. I'm getting sidetracked by all the I'm not gonna harvest stuff. Let's just keep going. But there's more stuff to mine and harvest.
Such delicate fineries you might craft with that.
I do wish you got harvesting XP. That's one thing I do like, is when games have like some sort of harvesting mechanic where you get XP for rounding up goods. God, this place is massive. There's a bear mount. What? I'd only seen them from at another player. That looks way cool. Suddenly we're gonna like transport it to the Golden Compass film. Look at this place. Oh my god. The music is phenomenal here, by the way. Look at the cat. Look at the cat. No, that's a dog and a cat. Look at the dog and the cat playing. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Where'd the dog go? Okay, they're going off in this direction. Where are you going? Where are you going, guys? They just disappeared into the... Aww. Alright, hold on. I gotta go get the Way Shrine before I go do the quest turn in. Dude, this place is awesome! Local bard. Alright. Down here's where we need to go. I'm gonna pop out really quick and go say good morning to my wife because I just heard the back door close. I need to go say good morning to her. And then we will be right back. I ain't seen nothing yet. Love it. All right. That's right. It's Turkey Day for some people. Go forth and cook. God, this music is amazing. I just love this track. Fun fact, you cannot kill dogs and cats in this game even by accident. Good. You should never kill animals. Hello Games, Sean Murray says the team working on No Man's Sky follow-up Light No Fire is tiny and working in the background. And the game is still a long, long ways off. I don't think we'll see that game for the next 2 years. I think it's at least probably 3 years out. I'm okay with it. Okay, the interior decorations here are making me want to start an orc, guys. Can you create a you can create an orc character, right? But this whole like all the totems and these tapestries, like I want to make an orc warrior right now. Just to play through the orc storyline. I just want to play the orc storyline. I don't care about the rest of the game. I just want to make an orc warrior and play through these snowy wastelands. Visit the inn in Orsinium while I am. We're supposed to ask about the trader. What platform am I playing on? My platform. Alright. We're supposed to be going up over here.
He paid you back, and with interest? About time. Maybe he finally sold some of those trinkets he loves so much.
I ain't complaining and I ain't asking questions. I'm just glad I finally got paid.
Hang on, I gotta find my way down through here. There might be a map I should follow. There is not a map to this place, unfortunately. How the heck? Are there stairs? Aha! PS5.
It's a good day, friend. I've got gold in my pocket and a full mug in my hand.
I couldn't help but over here. What was that about a large amount of gold?
I don't see how that's any of your business. And if you're thinking of trying to rob me, well, think again. I need this gold for my daughter. Now leave me be or I'll hit you with my mug.
Just trying to find someone who came across a large amount of gold recently.
Oh, why didn't you just say so? Being all mysterious and scaring a person half to death? So, why are you looking for Gulag?
Just need to find out how he got the gold.
My Trinamax deformed toe, if this gold is illegal, my Shieldhide needs her potions. Alright, let's try this. If you forget all about what we were discussing, then I might have information that will help you. Do you agree?
What discussion? I didn't hear a thing.
Right. You never heard this from me, but Gulag left here a little while ago to talk to those Khajiit traders. You know, the ones who showed up recently? And if nothing else, you should be able to smell him.
What do you mean smell him?
He wears some kind of fancy fragrance, says it keeps the spirits docile. The Khajiit sold it to him. You ask me, it smells like a dead horker left out too long in the sun. Follow that scent and it'll lead you right to him.
Right. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Entralo. Déjalo entrar. Come on, buddy. What's the matter? Oh, is she in your bed? Hang on, guys.
Only the finest wares here.
I don't know what's up. My cat Lucas is having. He got scared of something outside, I guess, because he was crying at the back door, wanted to come inside, and then he's wandering around the kitchen crying. And Chris just let him into the office because he was just crying at the office door, wanting to come in here. He's not. He is sometimes vocal, but today he's being exceptionally vocal, and he's acting extremely scared. Hang on. So he's a little upset right now too because that cat bed, he's normally not in here at this time of day. He usually comes in here in the afternoon and sleeps in the cat bed with me in the afternoon, and then he sleeps with me at night. She sleeps in it in the day, in the morning sessions, and he's on the bed right now all sorts of upset because she's... Why are you crying, buddy? What's the matter? You're being extremely vocal and you're making me a little nervous because you're just crying. Hang on a second, guys.